on here? Oh.
Oh wow, look at that, Padme. You got a pin.
Just like the Rangers.
Yeah, just like hers.
Alright, so we figured out the path we're going to take, and we think it'll work just fine without having to backtrack a ton or anything to get around Sturgis. And I'll actually go over to the map here on the side of the RV so you can kind of visualize what I'm talking about. So we're right here on the border of North Dakota, and Mount Rushmore and the Badlands and Crazy Horse and all that are over here in a big cluster on this side. Our original plan was to leave from where we are here and go and see the buffalo, which is about here, and then cut down and over. Now we are not doing that because we have to wait till after the 11th till Sturgis is over. So we're still going to go over here to Jamestown. We're leaving today, and then we're going to continue west through North Dakota over here to Theodore Roosevelt National Park. And we're going to stay there. We're going to boondock in their park for a few days. We're going to have to stop and get full hookups at a park nearby first, and then we'll go over to the main park. After that, we'll leave. We'll cut down a little bit through Montana, and we'll go see Devil's Tower in Wyoming, which is, you know, right around this area. And then we'll go back to see Rushmore and all that stuff over there. And then we'll continue on our normal trek towards Yellowstone, which is over here on the west side of Wyoming.
So this is a nice campsite, but the electrical box is really far away. So we're not sure if we're going to be able to park here. Rob's going to try it. And if not, there's another one, a couple spots down he said we could go to. So our electrical box is way over there. I don't think it's gonna go, but we'll see. I don't think you're gonna be able to take it through the hole. Or you're gonna have to move a little bit.
Let me back up a bit more.
Okay. Stay with mommy. We just need just a teeny tiny bit to be able to shut the door. Of course, if we don't want to shut the door on the RV, it would reach because it's only a couple inches short. I may back away, honey. Back up a little bit, hon. I don't know why it's upside down.
Let's hope it don't rain. It's upside down though.
It's supposed to rain, I think. I don't know. We'll find out.
It's upside down.
Oh no.
Oh no. Oh no, didn't. Yay.
Whoa.
Turtle?
It's a turtle.
Potato.
Yeah.
You want the turtle?
You want to ride the turtle? Okay, come on.
Potato.
That's a bird. It's a pelican. Pelican.
I guess it's a turtle. Or is it a snail? I don't know. I think it's a turtle.
Pelican.
Pelican.
Yeah, I think that's a turtle.
The wheel of death, Padme. Urge. All right. To your doom. All right, hold on.
Hi. We're not gonna go much faster than that.
She's gonna be so dizzy.
Whoa.
You hop down? Are you dizzy? Whoa.
Look behind you. Look
Padme.
Look behind you.
Peekaboo. I see you. Whee! Beep, beep.
So our next stop here outside of Jamestown, North Dakota is a breath of fresh air. It really is. Unfortunately, we're only staying here for 2 days, but we've been craving, you know, an actual campground, and this has been the closest thing we've had to it in a while. It's wonderful here. There's lots of trees and a nice park, and it isn't full of hookups. It's only water and electric, but there's a dump station right over here, so it's not a big deal. But yeah, only here for 2 days, but it's really nice here. Today we're gonna go see the world's largest buffalo monument, I think is what it's called. It's the #2 attraction in all of North Dakota. So we're gonna go check that out and see what it's all about. I'm sure it won't take too long. We're gonna go there, we're gonna see it and suck it in and head back, but it'll be fun, and it'll be neat to see the town of Jamestown as well. So there it is, world's largest buffalo. So, oh look, there's buffalo footprints in the sidewalk. But
real buffalo over
yeah, they have some real buffalo over this way, and they have a little frontier town you can walk through and some gift shops.
Yeehaw!
Just in case you don't have time to stop and see it, it looks like you should be able to see it from the interstate. So look to the right as you head west through North Dakota. Padme's in jail. Oh no. What'd you do? What you in for? Huh?
What happened?
Here.
You went to jail?
Here.
That's because you went and had a drink and you weren't supposed to.
Here. Here.
In the jail?
Here.
You shouldn't have went to the bar.
Alright, so we're leaving this campground today and we are headed further west towards a Walmart for tonight, and then on towards close to Theodore Roosevelt National Park after that. So we're just letting Padme play on the playground one more time before we take off this afternoon, and then we're gonna hit the road.
Alright, we gotta go, Padme. Come on. Whee! Let's go.
Bit of a storm rolling in here. Look at that. That's crazy. All right, we got a good night's sleep here at the Walmart, as always. And now we are headed west towards a campground. It's kind of interesting. It's Passport America for one night, our first night. And we're going there for full hookup so we can prep some food and get ready to boondock inside the park, hopefully. So we're gonna go there. It's interesting because it's owned by a bar and grill, and you just go in and if a spot's open, you take it, and then you go down to the grill and pay. There are other campgrounds around, so I'm not too worried about if there's no spots available, but I talked to them on the phone and they said most likely there will be. And then yeah, we're gonna head into the park with the car and make sure we can get in there and talk to the rangers and all of that, and then we're gonna head into the park for a few days. So This is a very frustrating campgrounds. I mean, the views are gorgeous. I mean, look at that. It's awesome. But there's nobody here managing the grounds. You have to go a mile away to a restaurant, which is fine. It's not a big deal. But, you know, we did find 2 spots in between. They're like overflow spots because all of these down here are taken. In between 2 cabins. We're right up next to a cabin, which fortunately sucks for the people in this cabin. I feel bad, but we need full hookups if we're going to go into the park. We were going to pull into a site across from us that also has electric and water over here, but there is no sewer in sight. None. And we found that there's another one on the other side of us here that has sewer and it's full hookups. A lady had to come out and move her car. Unfortunately, I didn't want to bother anybody, but she came out and moved it, and now the water isn't working. And I called them and told them the water wasn't working. He goes, "Oh, I assure you it does. You gotta just push on it." And I'm pushing on it, pulling on it. He said, "Yeah, it's just, you know, you gotta push down on this thing." And I don't know what he's talking about. I've never heard of anything with a water spigot that you push on, but I'm pushing, pulling. I stood on the thing. No water. He said he can come by later and fix it, but he can't come out right now, which is fine. We have water in our tanks. But I said, well, hey, I've got a long hose. I can reach the site across the way that isn't full hookups, but their water works. Oh, the site across the way is full hookups, which has a much better view, and it's further away from this cabin, and he swears it's full hookup. And I'm telling you, I'll go over here and record, and you tell me where you see a sewer connection, because there is not one. This has been a pretty frustrating campground, almost to the point where I want to go find a different one, but we're not going to be here long. If he can come by and get this water working. If he can't, we're leaving, and we are not going to pay. This is ridiculous. There's site number 11. It has 30 amp, 50 amp, everything, and their water, but nowhere. There is no sewer connection anywhere to be seen. And he swears to me it's full hookup. There is nothing. Nothing at all. Now there's some across the road at another campsite, but nothing here. And we're parked over here against this cabin. See, there's a hookup for that. And here's our sewer hookup, which is great. With what's supposed to be our water hookup, which does not work. Nothing. Again, he assures me that it works, and he says, you just gotta push on it. Well, I'm pushing on it, buddy. Nothing. So if you come into the area, I'm not going to recommend this campsite. The price is good, but the service sucks. So to get ready to go into park, we wanted to drive into it today just to check out the road, check out the area, talk to the park rangers, and see how we get back there. So we're not really going to be in the park for long today because I have a lot of prep work to do to get ready to boondock. But there's a bit of traffic on this Saturday headed into the park, and we're stopped in the main road and the line is not moving fast.
Everyone's stopping to see the buffalo. It's a big one.
It's our first wild buffalo.
First wild buffalo. That's a big one. Man, we almost ran over a buffalo. Not really, but I'm scared.
Sorry, well, I didn't know if it was just one or more than one, so I needed to slow down.
Jeez,
I didn't expect to see a buffalo on the side of the road right there.
Of course he was around the corner, because that's where they hide,
Yeah.
you know? Buffalo on top of the mountain. Herd down here, and then a little scout on the mountain. Moving slowly. one car length at a time.
I mean,
In 600 feet, turn
God,
left.
don't do that. You might want to stop. This one's coming that way. That's what everyone says.
they're like cows.
That's what everyone says before they get mauled to death.
He's trying to get them to move off the road. He's herding them off the road.
Oh, are we turning that way?
Yeah.
In 800 feet, your destination will be on the left.
Big nail right here in the road.
You see the buffalo? Yeah.
Just creeping by and watching them.
Oh, we made it.
Okay. All right, it's the next day. After coming in the park yesterday and scoping things out, we woke up early this morning and we drove over here to try and get a campsite inside the Theodore Roosevelt National Park. Now, it's $30 to get into the park with a vehicle, and if you have America the Beautiful Pass, I highly recommend coming into the park and doing the same thing we did. We found exactly where we can park to unhook the car that was close to the campground, and now Steph has gone ahead of me to see if there's an open site. It is a little tight back there, still plenty of room for our big rig, but it's just good to have a game plan together, and if you have that pass, you can get in, because we came in yesterday. We tried not to really look around too much or do anything in the park because we didn't want to spoil it for the few days that we're here. So yeah, we got up early this morning. We drove over here. I'm pulled over at a overlook here, which is quite beautiful actually, and Steph has driven ahead, and she's gonna hopefully find a campsite for us and get it reserved so we can just go ahead and pull right in. One thing we didn't think about till this morning though is I have pretty good cell reception here on top of this overlook, but we're not sure how it is down in the park. We've been told that signal's pretty bad, so Steph might not be able to call me. If she can't call me, she's just gonna go ahead and pay for an open site and then come back, and I'll follow her in, but we'll see. The view from this overlook is pretty awesome, and it looks like, you know, these canyons are just carved out of the ground. We're gonna be staying just down over that hill over there.
I think we'll be alright.
Well, we made it into our spot, so we're really happy about it, and I hope it works out here and that it doesn't get too hot after we have to shut the ACs off at 8, but I don't think it will. The sun goes down around 9:30. So if we cool it down really, really good and keep the doors and windows closed until it starts getting hot, it should be cool. And plus, there's plenty of shade here. So it'll be a new and interesting experience. And listening to the hum of the generator most of the day, I'm sure the neighbors aren't gonna like it very much. I mean, it's a quiet generator, but it's not that quiet. So yeah, we're just gonna hang out here today and maybe go out and explore the park after lunch. All right, we got something to eat and we have our camp set up here, and now we're just gonna go explore a little bit. Probably head down to the visitor center to pick out where we want to go and what we want to see while we're here. So we're trying to get Padme her junior, junior ranger badge, and she has different things she has to complete in a book, and we just found one of them, or at least a couple of things, is picking up, 3 pieces of litter. So I'm gonna get her out and she's gonna pick up some litter out here. All right, Padme, get the trash picked up. There's one, get the other piece. Yeah. Good job.
Good job.
All right.
Come on, we gotta go put them in the car.
That's 2 pieces. You only need 1 more.
Good job, Padme. Oh, good job. Let's take
You're gonna get that badge.
the first wild horsies.
All right, I spotted your last piece of trash. It's over here. It's blue. Yeah, it's right here. Look. Look at that piece of trash right there. Want to pick it up? Good job. All right. It's trash. Hold on. All right. Good job. Okay, we're back at the overlook that I had the RV parked at originally this morning. There's a really short 0.2 mile, 5-minute trail. Technically it's paved. I think it's the only paved trail here in the park, but I think that counts towards your book as a trail. Yeah, another box to check off. Alright, so it was just a little bit of sightseeing for right now. We're gonna head back to the RV and eat some lunch, and Padme is really ready for a nap because I woke her up early to get over here. So we're gonna head back there and rest, and maybe we'll get into something later, and if we don't, we'll definitely get into something tomorrow.
A bug. A big bug.
Whoa,
Bug.
whoa.
Nina.
Yeah, Nilla.
Nina. Bug. Nina. Bug. Nina. No way. No way. No way. No way. No way. No. No way. No way.
Are you gonna be a junior ranger? Can you say ranger? Ranger book, yeah. So it's the next day, and we're gonna go drive around the park and check out some of the short trails they have that we can bring Padme on, and then we're gonna try and make it to a ranger presentation at the Painted Canyon, which is actually, we have to leave the park and get on the interstate for a little bit, but it's not too far. So yeah, we're just gonna go venture out and see what we can see and do what we can do today. All right, we're here checking out Painted Canyon. Padme, are you going to be a junior ranger?
Pretty. Just some grass, some skies, blue skies. Awesome. Things you saw. Looks good.
The book's not in great condition anymore, is it? But probably.
Yeah.
Would you like this in the bag? Look, you get a stamp. You're doing such a good job. You did such a good job. You get a stamp.
The ranger book, yeah.
Can you do your pledge? You want to repeat after me?
Can you put your hand up like her?
Put your hand up.
I'm a junior ranger. I'll protect this park from danger. I will not pick the plants. I won't step on the ants. No animals will get my food, and I won't litter because it's rude. My job is never done. This ranger life is fun. Yay!
Say yay. Can you say I agree? Say nothing. Look. Wow. Look. Here. This is yours for doing a good job. Can you say thank you?
Put it on here. Oh,
Oh wow, look at that, Padme. You got a pin.
just like the rangers.
Yeah, just like
she's got one.
hers.
Yeah.
2144.
Isn't that cool?
Wow. We had to get her the junior ranger hat to go with her junior ranger badge. The little town of Medora just outside the park. Lots of little restaurants and gift shops and hotels. Okay, so we're gonna head out to Elkhorn Ranch, which was Theodore Roosevelt's ranch when he lived here. The ranch is no longer there, but you can see the stones of the foundation of the buildings. And it's a bit of a drive to get out there. They say some parts of the year you can only get there with four-wheel drive. We're gonna take a chance. It's on a gravel road. The rangers give you some printed instructions of how to get there. There's a lot of private property around there, so you have to be careful and stick to the roads to get there. But there is a campground back there as well. Yeah, but we're gonna go see where Theodore Roosevelt lived and where he fell in love with this area. All right, we made it out here and we got the whole place to ourselves, so, and no cell service, so we're out in the middle of nowhere by ourselves. Yeah, looks pretty awesome. Let's go check it out. So, Miss Junior Ranger, can you tell me anything about this area? Into some shade. And we've got some cows on the trail. There isn't really a way to go around them. Maybe they'll walk off as we come nearby.
Be careful, she's got a baby.
Yeah, and she's got a baby, so we're gonna be real careful. If it was a buffalo, we wouldn't take the chance, but it is a cow, even though they still can be dangerous. If you get too close, they're a little more used to people, so she did wander off into the trees. So Steph walked ahead just to make sure that they wandered far enough, because I have Padme on my back and I don't want to get too close and take any risks. Guess we're all good. I can't even see her. She walked off into those trees, so.
That tells you how scary it is, though, because you can't see them.
Yeah. Didn't see it till we were just about right on top of it. I was worried it was a buffalo, and I'm like, well, there goes our chance to see the ranch, because no way was I going to get close to one of those, but she wandered off. In case anyone's confused about the cow, Elkhorn Ranch area is partly owned by the National Park Service, and parts of it are owned by private ranchers around here. So, but they allow people to hike out and see it. So we're on somebody's property on their cattle ranch, walking through it. A nice view of the muddy Little Missouri, which runs right by his ranch. So his ranch is down there somewhere. Just walking through the pastures. Somebody's fence right here. Some signs here up ahead, so either we're here or real close. Signs, I think we're here. Obviously there's no more buildings. But there's a small trail that leads this way, but then there's a fence up here, but the gate looks the same as the gate that we walked into at the start of the trail. Looks like the same style gate, so maybe this is it. I guess so. Maybe just to keep some of the cows off the area. It says you'll see stone markers where the buildings were. These metal posts sticking out of the ground, I'm guessing marking where things were, but I guess this is the homestead area here. So this is what Theodore Roosevelt would have seen walking out of the front door of his ranch. They say they keep it like this so you can really feel the solitude that he was looking for out here. The Missouri River is just, or Little Missouri River is just down over that hill. Yeah, I guess this is it. Not much to see of what's left, but I think they said 1901 the buildings were completely torn down, and yeah, this is the spot. Cool. These are some of the foundation stones, I guess, that they said were out here. There's some over there, and some right here. And if you look, that mountain right there is that mountain right there. All right, we got to get going back because generator hours stop at 8 and we only have a couple hours, and it takes a couple hours to drive back to the campground. So we got to get going. It was beautiful. It was cool to see. I didn't know there was going to be a hike, but it's not a long one. Somebody even wrote on the sign-up sheet out, you know, the little thing you sign when you come in, that it was a long hike, but it's really not. It only took 5 minutes maybe. So they do tell you before you come out here that there's nothing here, and that there's some foundation stones, but that's about it, and some signs. It was a little bit of a letdown just because it wasn't really like square outlines of buildings, you know, it was just a stone here and a stone there. They do give you a map of the area, but it's really hard to tell what directions things were facing. It was still great to see, and it's still worth come seeing, but just don't expect to see much besides a beautiful view. That's about all you get, and you know, the feeling of walking in the footsteps of a great president. You know, he came here to get away from everything and have some silence and be able to think and work hard, and you can definitely feel that out here. I mean, I can only imagine how cold it gets in the winters, and it's in the mid 80s today. And there's, you know, even though we walk through small treat areas like this, a lot of it's open plains and it gets pretty warm. I couldn't imagine living out here without AC or electric heat. It must have taken a lot of work. You know, it's crazy to think that Theodore Roosevelt was out here herding cattle. The ranch eventually was a failure. It didn't do well. I don't think he was looking for crazy success with it, but he had a lot of people that were helping him as well. I think there was a really bad winter where the cows just didn't get enough food. There wasn't enough grazing, or something had happened where a lot of the cows died over a really bad winter and got really skinny. So I think it was not long after that Theodore Roosevelt had to leave and was done with it. And I think the buildings here stayed around here till 1901. I don't know if I already mentioned that, before they were completely taken down. So it's been, you know, 118 years since buildings were on this property. Yep, we made it back to the car. So we can get back and then probably enjoy the AC for a few minutes before we have to shut off our generator.
We saw a coyote. Is coyote out right now? Trying to get these little things. Getting little prairie dogs, horses, everything out right now. 6:30.
All right, so we made it back to the RV. Car's a little dusty, but otherwise everything went great, and we didn't break down out in the middle of nowhere, which is awesome. There's a stargazing thing going on in the park tonight at 10 o'clock. It's from 10 to 11:45. We're thinking we might try and go. The only downside is that we'd have to keep Padme up pretty late, but we might just bring her in her PJs and let her sleep on the ride home. I mean, it's not a very far drive, but we still haven't fully decided, so we may or may not go. But the stars out here are the best I've seen since we've been on our trip. I don't know if they'll get better. I'm sure when we get out in the deserts, they'll be just as amazing, but I think we're gonna try for it. So yeah, maybe not. Otherwise, we gotta head out tomorrow morning and start headed towards Devil's Tower. All right, let's go stargazing. I don't know how much I'll be able to film because it's nighttime, but I'll try and get something. So I really wish we could have filmed some of that for you guys to see, but obviously it was impossible. But that was totally awesome. Yeah. and worth going to. If you ever have the chance, if you're in this national park or another national park and they do it, go. It wasn't what we expected. They had 2 telescopes, one very large one and one larger than average one, I guess. Yeah. I don't know what they were called. They knew it. They told you about them, but they showed us planets and Saturn. You got to see Saturn's rings and Jupiter. And we were also in the middle of a meteor shower, so we saw more shooting stars tonight than either of us, I think, have ever seen. Yep. Some were really, really, really good. Padme powered through it. I think she's passed out in her car seat. It was only a 5-minute drive from where we were camping at, so, but it was really amazing. It really was.
having a hard time getting out of this. Talk to him. Do you want to back out? Do you want to try backing out? I can call you on the phone. I know, I saw you up against it when I came back. I was like, he probably needs help because it took you a minute. I gotta move the car if you try backing it. This side? As long as you don't hit this tree. This one's okay. Oh, hold. Alright. Check this side. Alright. Good. Come straight. It's good. Come straight. Now straight a little bit. Alright, hey. Come straight this way. You don't have to turn. I was trying to tell you, you didn't have to turn.
Don't look like it. I got it.
All right. All right, he got it. Thank goodness.
Okay, it's the next day, and we're heading out of Cottonwood Campground. I'm filling our tanks full of fresh water because we were a little low, just because we're not sure where we're going to be next. And our plan is to go to the overlook at the top of the hill here, where we have signal, and figure out where the next place we're going to go is, because we can make texts and phone calls here, but data is pretty much non-existent. So as soon as our water tanks are full, we're gonna head up to that overlook, have some breakfast, and figure out where we're going. And I don't think I mentioned, we did fit back here with our large rig, but it was tight, and you got to be careful, and you got to watch the trees, and struggled a little bit getting out of our sight, but it wasn't too bad. Just a lot of backing up and moving forward, trying to positioned just right so we didn't hit any trees on our way out. But I got out and we got in just fine. So just go slow and watch your mirrors.
Of course there is, because I don't have my camera.
Because you don't have your camera. Yeah. Look at that. Well, he might still be around. There's this overlook here. Alright, so change of plans. We're up here at this overlook, and sometime between us leaving the campground and driving up to this overlook, which is about 5 minutes, our generator shut off, and now it won't start again, which means we have no air conditioning, no way to keep our fridge cold while we drive. We're trying to find an RV repair place nearby. There's a big RV place. You would expect somebody would be out here repairing RVs, but nobody. And we don't know what direction we need to head. We either need to get to a campsite with full hookups, so then we can try to figure out where we go after that. At least it'll be halfway to some repair shop, or B, get to a repair shop today. I don't think we're getting to a repair shop today. I don't know what's going on with it. It's just not starting, and we've used it pretty heavily a lot recently, and I just serviced it, so I don't know what the deal is, but we're having a lot of trouble finding a campsite nearby with full hookups. Not nearby, at least an hour out or something like that, but we're trying hard. We haven't found anything yet, but yeah, another curveball here for us.